Welcome back, paisans.
Hey, paisano.
Welcome back to Sopranos Prima Volta. There it is. I always look at the thing to make sure I said it right. I, of course, am Sam Roberts, the curator of the Notsam YouTube channel.
I mean, really, if we're being honest, you're more the commendatore of the Notsam YouTube channel. Commendatore.
And, of course, the great Ian Fidance.
Yes.
One of the wonderful, fantastic New York City comedians all over the place. Bye Guys podcast, everything else.
Paisan.
But Paisan first and foremost.
Yes. And more of the, you're the commendatore. I'm the capo.
Yeah.
I feel I'm a good earner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
now,
honestly, oh, man, it's cold outside, but it's hot down in, now, what do they call their pork shop?
Cetriali's.
Yes. Well, we're down here in Sam Triali's.
Hey.
It's hot down here. We got the sauce cooking, so I'm just going to take my coat off.
Oh, no, it's custom made.
Yes, that's right, paisans.
It's got your name on it.
I've started to get my own custom-made Italian bowling shirts. No regrets. And also, it is a bowling shirt, so I thought, why not get a strike? Because I'm a little turkey. So if you want to check the back
my God. It's got a whole thing on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yeah,
I mean... and I also have a cane. I hurt my back. I'm really morphing into June.
Yeah, you're Uncle June.
Yeah.
I think that the beauty about bowling shirts is that it's not like getting them customized makes them more cheesy.
No.
Right?
Makes them more authentico.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, commendatore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, a bowling shirt is like Olive Garden when you wear one in your family, but really,
True.
I'm going to Italy for the real thing.
True. And it's like Olive Garden in the sense that, you could get a never-ending order of them, like the breadsticks.
Yeah, and it was probably also made by Mexicans.
Probably. Probably. Yeah.
When you hear your familia, or what's a Spanish word for family?
Also familia.
Familia.
Yeah.
Oh,
also familia.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hey, we are not so different.
And I see we got the Italian without words, which is the mascot of Prima Volta.
It is.
That's always got to be here. So look, if you're joining us for the first time, turn this off and watch the first 3 episodes that we've already done, because what we're doing here is going through the entire series of The Sopranos. Ian, for your very first time, your Prima Volta.
Yes.
For me, it's like the 6th or 9th time that I've gone through the entire series. But today, we're picking up right where we left off. Of course, we got up to episode 6 of season 2. Today, we chronicle episode 7, 8, and 9 of season 2.
And Prima things Prima. I just want to thank everyone for tuning in and watching and giving us a lot of love. People are digging it, man.
Okay, and and this is important because it's like, people have questions after the episodes. Are you ready to maybe admit that you were not 100% right with the scorpion thing?
What?
The scorpion and the frog?
Yeah, no, I know the scorpion and the frog. I'm just questioning why you think I'm not right.
I don't think you know this. I still don't think you know the scorpion.
Tony's a frog. He carries everyone on his back and he keeps getting stung.
Yeah, but you still think that the scorpion stings the frog after they get to the other side of the river.
Yeah, because he stings him in the river, and then when they get to the other side, he goes, why did you No, they get to the other side, he stings them because the scorpion gets what he needs, stings him, and then the frog goes, why'd you sting me? And the scorpion goes, because it's in my nature.
No, I mean, I was being polite the last time, but, I was right. I checked it. The scorpion stings him while they're both in the water, and they both drown, leaving the frog going, why the hell would you do this? You killed us both. And then the scorpion said, because it's in my nature.
No, that's not true. How is a scorpion going to speak underwater?
I guess glub, glub, glub. I mean, that's actually a great point.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's get into the episodes then.
Yeah.
Okay. Episode 7.
Yes.
You still don't know the thing. Episode 7.
I just blew minds. How's a scorpion talking underwater?
I mean, the scorpion probably said it right before they sunk.
They get to the other side because the scorpion kills him, the frog dies, and the scorpion lives to go do it again because the scorpion will never change.
If they got to the other side, the scorpion could have done it out of spite. It wouldn't have to do it because it's in its nature. It's not so unexplainable.
The scorpion did it because the scorpion got what he wanted.
No.
Because the scorpion's selfish.
Okay, but then it's not in its nature then. It just got what it wanted. The reason...
And then he stung him because it's in his nature, and it doesn't care about anyone else but himself. Just like in the episode when Tony rides with AJ on the boat, and Tony leaves destruction in his life, and then on the boat, he's smiling with AJ while he's knocking other people into the water.
You said Tony was the frog.
Frog went in the water. No.
Well, we're not there yet. We're at episode 7. Episode 7 is... one of the great episodes. It's one of the underrated episodes. Episode 7 is D-Girl. Episode 7 is the episode where the main story is that Christopher's cousin's girlfriend is Jon Favreau's assistant.
Yes.
And Adriana looks at this as a great opportunity for Christopher to get his screenplay in front of all the right people.
That he carries to set in a plastic bag.
Wow, what if it rains?
Yeah, it's true.
What if it rains?
What if he has to cross a river? Anyway.
That's a good point. He would probably drown because the scorpion drowned.
Yes.
With the frog. So my question here is that this is one of the episodes, not that we hadn't before, but we really get into the dynamic of Christopher and Aid as a couple. And I feel like this is one of the episodes where people really start to go like, okay, I'm falling in love with this couple. You and your significant other are in a wonderful place. And throughout season 1, you have been referring to her as your Carmela.
Yes.
As of now, as of episode 7 of season 2, are you still Tony and Carm, or do you start to see yourself as a little bit of Christopher and Adriana?
We're Tony and Carm because we always, at the end of the day, no matter what, have love. And she takes care of me, and I take care of her. And I would never hit her. Okay. So I'm not Christopher.
Okay.
But in a way, I am Christopher because she makes me a better person, and she's Adriana because she loves me so much.
Okay.
As evident by the fact that last night I came home from the cellar and I talked to our cats.
Sure.
Going, woo! And then they would go, and she enjoyed it and immediately didn't leave. And also, we got a new cat. Do you know the name?
No.
Beans.
Beansy, little Beansy.
That's his name, Beansy.
Little Beansy, just sweet little Beansy. You can take care of Beansy now, right?
Yeah.
If you need somebody to build a ramp?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So before we get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so excited.
No, I know. It's an exciting thing. It's an exciting show to talk about. D-Girl, I feel like my favorite scene in the whole episode is when Christopher goes to set to visit. Now, interesting. Tell me, Christopher goes to set. So the original meeting, Christopher's cousin Greg. Chris brings Aid. Greg brings Amy. Amy says you should come to set. Greg says you definitely should. Christopher, instead of bringing Aid with him,
shows up by himself.
But
also, before she says go to set, they're at a nightclub, and these guys are being loud.
Key moment. Yes, the guys are being loud, and you know, Greg, Christopher's cousin,
Cuck.
It is fair.
Beta.
It is fair. Beta cuck.
Yep.
But he's not in that. He's not about that life. You know what I mean?
No.
He's about a much more comfortable life.
I wear a suit all the time.
Very cushy, behind a desk. Probably can order people around, but they have to listen to him because of the paycheck, not because there's going to be a problem. Okay? So when she sees alpha male Christopher Moltisanti taking care of business.
Yes.
I mean, she has never seen anything like this before. You can see it in her eyes, and I'm going to tell you right now.
No. Get out the rubber sheets. She's leaking.
If you ever see that look in your lady's eye, there's nothing you can do to combat that.
No.
Nothing. You know.
She can try to pull away the shoes, but I'm going to grab them and smell them.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
also,
you know what? And it's similar, right? Right? You're a comedian, right? I'm
Yes.
sure you've been in situations, right? Where like a girl might have a boyfriend, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the boyfriend is like funny, like normal 9 to 5 funny.
Blech.
Funny guy at the job funny.
Blech.
Then all of a sudden you hang out with them for whatever reason and you're being comedian funny. The girl starts laughing.
Oh, yeah.
This guy can't compete with that.
I mean, 9 to 5 office funny is the same thing as what we used to call the homeowner special when I was a carpenter.
Love that.
We were hanging out. We're using DeWalt. We're fucking real tools, real craftsmen. And then these guys are like, if you need a screwdriver, I have a Black & Decker.
Oh, it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, why don't you fucking leave the room?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you get that at the Home Depot?
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't you go take a walk around the block?
Right, right. Let
know?
the men take care of what
Yeah.
the men are here to take care of.
And I will say, the first time me and my gal ever hung out, I invited her out. I never invited gals out to see me do sets. I said, look, and we were just hanging as friends. I said, hey, look, why don't you, I got sets tonight. You want to come around? Okay, sure. I went and I alphaed the shit out of every set. Just big swinging dick coming around. Woo, woo. And it was
Crowd work, we talking?
crowd work, fun in the moment. I run shit.
Just real comfortable on that stage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I got the cane, because I got to carry around this big old dick.
You
know?
Yeah, well, it's going to take your... It's like they say Barbie.
Yes.
Her anatomy is so big that it would hurt her back.
Oh.
Same problem for you.
Yes. And I ain't no Ken doll.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Ian Fidance comes anatomically correct.
Totally. You better come correct. I come anatomically correct. And I'll tell you this much.
Yeah.
So many guys are betas. That's why I love Sopranos. Especially, okay, look, this might be too much, but especially after the Me Too movement, so many guys are like, may I approach you?
Right.
May I? Girls don't like that. They like a guy that just owns it and goes up to a guy and whispers in his ear and goes, I'm going to say something and no one's going to know what it is. Kind of like Bill Murray at the end of Lost in Translation.
Sure.
We're always going to wonder what was said, but we're going to know it was so meaningful that it changes the trajectory.
Like Christopher Moltisanti.
Yes.
Yes, and that's exactly what he does.
And nobody wants a guy that wears a suit and just sits and goes, I hope those guys be quiet.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know what he said either.
Yeah.
You know, that's lame.
Yeah.
That is lame.
Lame.
That's cuckoldry.
Are you the kind of guy who hears something at night and you go, oh, that's scary? Or are you the kind of guy that goes, I'm going to go see what that is?
No, I'm going to tell you right now, a big thing changed for me.
Yeah?
Sam with goofy hair Sam,
Uh-huh.
he was sitting on the couch in the suit. Shaved head Sam, he's whispering in a gentleman's ear.
Yeah.
You got to make the change.
You got to make the change.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
I was just going to say, you got to start with the man in the mirror.
This is why this is so great.
I swear on my mother's eyes,
Oh,
I was going to quote Michael Jackson.
MJ.
You know what?
MJ.
You know what?
MJ.
Salute.
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 Let's get some Brazil.
Yes. Yes, America.
So, you're right. The D girl, Amy, is, she's over the moon for Christopher right away.
And I don't like her.
You don't like Amy. She's
Snake.
manipulative. And I'll tell you this. I believe, and you always see this, like Stephen King always writes about writers. And like you see people with their own feelings about where they work being reflected in their work. I believe that David Chase wrote this episode. I don't even know if he's the writer of this episode, but he's the showrunner of the show. But I think that the people involved in making this episode were so sick of the industry that they wanted to, like the people who wrote the episode saw themselves as Christopher.
Wow.
And that's why they wrote the industry to be such wieners.
Funny that this is such an iconic, wonderfully written, amazing show that I looked it up. Members of the mafia thought they were getting wiretapped by the writers on the show because of how close to home they hit it.
Wow. Well,
and it's amazing that this is the first time we've mentioned David Chase.
I mean, he deserves to be mentioned a lot more.
Incredible.
I don't know who writes every single episode, because like as the showrunner.
Yes.
It's ultimately his name on the series. And the man is a genius.
Total genius.
Yes.
Total genius.
But
to get and that's what I love about the show is you just blew my mind with that statement of how that was analogous and probably a little Easter egg for the people on the show to say this is what we think of the industry.
Yeah, whenever I see industry stuff about the industry, I'm like, you got some frustrations you're working through. It'd be like if I wrote an episode and be like, yeah, and then the mafia comes to satellite radio. So when Christopher goes to the movie set on his own, do you think that he's picking up on Amy's energy? And that you don't think so?
I don't think so.
So why did he go alone?
Why would he bring Adriana?
She wants to see John Favreau.
Yeah, but I think that she would be kind of like he would feel like he'd have to babysit her, and he was just going there for business.
This is work, honey. You don't write screenplays.
Yeah.
I got my screenplay in a plastic bag.
Yeah. Hey, honey, look, I love you, but if we need some zucchini, we'll ask you to bring it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. You're totally right. Okay, I'm with that. And you're right. I mean, there is a chance that he picked up on the energy. He is a shark. Christopher.
I don't know if he picked up on her energy or if he was hungry for Hollywood, and then he picked up on her thing later.
Because he is hungry for Hollywood.
Because he didn't have his eyes set on her.
No,
he had his eyes set on Favreau, which is why, I don't know if we're jumping too far ahead, but when they go to eat,
right,
he betrays the code.
Well, yeah, it's interesting with Christopher because we also really see here that he just always wants more. Like, yeah, would he like to be moving a little faster in the family business? Sure, wouldn't we all? But things are not bad for him right now.
And I noticed something about that, and I want to say it, but I'll say it later.
Okay. But he wants more. He wants that Hollywood thing.
Yes.
He just wants. Yes. My favorite scene, I think, in the whole episode is when he's on set with Sandra Bernhardt and Janine Garofalo. And they're like figuring out like, oh, this line doesn't work. And he just goes,
Bukyak.
What if he calls her Bukyak? Bukyak? What does that mean? What does he say?
Cunt. Yeah.
he just
if
says
she's
it.
from Brooklyn, she should know. Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that was so authentically him, and just that experience of not knowing the technicalities or like the pecking order of things.
Yeah.
And just being comfortable enough in your own skin to be like, yeah, whatever.
See,
or ignorant enough.
Yeah.
To fucking,
Yeah, because I picked up like when they go to lunch after that at the pizza place, I feel like Amy is a climber. Like Amy is trying to get Favreau interested in Christopher, because that's her find. Right, and Favreau is just trying to get all the information from him. So the whole time I'm sitting there going like, oh, poor Christopher thinks that they're like looking at him like, oh, we could potentially make a movie with this guy.
Right.
But I feel like they're looking at him like a whack packer. Like they're looking at him like almost like a decoration.
Like a Native American looking at a buffalo. They want to use every part.
Right. And Favreau's sitting there like, oh, I'm going to be able to write a great mob script with this idiot stories.
And Chris is just sitting there insulting him. And just like tearing him apart, not knowing.
And he's like, totally. Yeah. And like I said, and Amy is using her connection with Christopher.
It's so gross.
She has that attraction to him, but it's almost like that movie Network where...
I haven't seen it.
It's amazing. But even when, like, you see the woman in the film who's such a climber, like, she'll use her sexuality, but it's always for professional climbing. Like, there's this sort of sociopathic
I've had that before.
Disconnect.
Where, like, another comic who's, like, lower on the rung is, like, kind of hanging around you and everything, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, you got the wrong motherfucking fucking one.
You must have thought that I was.
Yeah.
So then you're right. Christopher does break the code, and he goes, I could get in a lot of trouble for this.
When he starts going into that story, first of all, when he's like, what's he say? He goes, that thing is still alive? That's so funny. And when he when he goes, I could get in trouble for this, and then he starts with the story, and Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac plays in the background. It is such a perfect scene.
And I think David Chase is responsible for like a lot of the music.
Oh,
like,
the music's perfect in the show.
Yeah.
And also at the Bada Bing, they always have Metallica playing in the background. And every fade out of every episode has a perfect fucking song playing. I'm a big music guy. And I believe, our lives are movies, and we make up the soundtrack. And so I always try to.
So you have like a big ska soundtrack.
Yes, but also I have, very much so. But there are moments in your life that just a perfect song can play through to accent the moment, and this was that.
Yeah.
And I noticed that the song that was playing in the background, it didn't even end when the song ended. They faded out in the middle of the song to have Rhiannon come up.
Right.
It was perfect.
Right. Just so it came up at the exact right spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was awesome. I feel like it's funny when Christopher says I get in a lot of trouble for this, because it's almost like I don't know if you've had conversations with Bert Kreischer about like comedian gossip, and he's like, I'm not supposed to tell you, but I'm going to tell you. And it's like, you do that, but Christopher, it's like he could be killed for this. Yeah. This is why.
Bert will get a couple tweets.
Yeah, exactly.
And Christopher will be seeing tweets from the birds.
That's right.
Yeah. He gets hit in the head and they fly around like a cartoon.
Yeah. And they're pecking at his dead carcass.
Yes. That was better than what I said.
That's okay. It still all works.
Salute.
So, so John is clearly just collecting information from this guy.
And also, I think it's so stereotypically or so wonderfully Christopher that he just gets in his own way. He's always shooting himself in the foot like in Goodfellas. And he has that chance with Favreau in the hotel room, and he's gacked up and just blows it.
It's Italy all over again.
Oh my God, yes! Yes, it is! And it's so funny how they are so not on the same page. He's got the gun, he's scaring them, and then he goes, the roof is soft talk! Like, that's your takeaway? Yeah. That's what you're pulling out of this?
Yeah, and you have that moment with Favreau where he's like, all right, stop.
Yeah. And then he's so scared to be honest with him. He's like, I got a lot of dialogue tomorrow. Oh, okay, buddy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, he doesn't want to be a beta male cuck.
No.
He's Favreau. No. Like, he wants to be, like, in meetings, they're probably all like, oh, we got to make sure we don't piss this guy off. We got to impress this guy. He's got Amy's around him all the time. Mm-hmm. Amy's that are using other people to climb just so they look good in front of him. Now he's confronted with this mob guy who, like, he just wants to think is cool. Like, he just wants Christopher to think that he's cool.
Right. And I feel like Amy is like the female Richie Aprile.
That evil?
I mean, wanting to climb, willing to do what it takes.
Amy's Scorpion.
Oh, yeah.
You know who the frog is?
Who?
Her husband, Greg.
Christopher. Oh,
of course not Christopher. These are all Scorpions.
Oh. Sorry.
Do you watch this show?
Yes, and I don't want to believe that they're bad. They're familia. Turn your back on familia.
Okay, how do you feel when Christopher can't get in touch with John after that, one meeting with the gun and everything, and now John's not around, and she's like, "Well, why don't you talk to me about this?" And she's reading the script.
Oh my God!
And she's like, "Oh, sit right here," and she gets all close to him. Yes. And she's letting her robe hang open a little bit, and it's.
I think that's when Christopher goes. Yeah. I don't think that he knew it until then.
Okay.
But then his scorpion comes out, and it's in his nature.
Right.
And he's got to do it.
Right. And you know where his stinger is.
Oh, pantaloons.
That's it. You knew it. You nailed it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he has sex with his cousin's girlfriend.
It's all you can eat breadstick.
You bet. Uh-huh. You bet. Yeah. And here we're always family because that's your cousin's girlfriend.
Salute.
Yeah, salute. So he has sex with his cousin's girlfriend. So not only is he having sex with his cousin's girlfriend, but of course he's cheating on the wonderful Adriana.
I don't like it. Every time these guys cheat, I go, no,
Because they got such a good woman at home.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't just say that because I'm watching with my gal. I genuinely feel that way. I mean, I know you got to do it for the story, and I know these guys got to do bad things, but I'm so connected to the characters and the relationships they have that I just want what's best for them.
But that's the culture, too. They're all supposed to have doting wives, and they're all supposed to have, their side chicks, and, and then also cheat on their side chicks with, like, your cousin's girlfriend and whatnot. So then... when he has sex with her the second time.
This is when it all blows up.
Right. Do you think that she actually started to feel guilty about what she was doing? Or do you think because after they have sex the second time is when he finds the Favreau script?
Yeah, but he finds that after she goes in the bathroom, after they have the little realization. And I don't like what this fucking scorpion does. Where
talking about Amy,
yeah, she cheats on him with her cousin, with her boyfriend's cousin, or is it husband, whatever. And she was like, "You ever been with a member of the tribe? Cute," and he goes, "You ever been with a skinny guinea?" And then they both go, "Oh fuck!" And reality sets in, and then this bitch, I do not like what she does. She goes, "I am a good person," starts to like rewrite the script on what it is, and all of a sudden she gets a conscience.
Well,
no.
It's almost like, right, it's not a direct comparison, I don't think, but it's almost like her morality.
Mm-hmm.
She murdered anybody? No.
Right.
But her morality is not necessarily better than Christopher's morality, but because it's within the confines of what is societally accepted, because we've decided that, these like cutthroat things that they do in Hollywood and steal people's ideas and use people with dreams to manipulate them and everything.
Okay.
Because that's accepted, she can convince herself that she's a good person because she hasn't technically broken the law, even though she knows Favreau just took Christopher's story, which he said he can get in a lot of trouble for.
She doesn't even realize the gravity of the situation of what could happen.
She's like, well, and
because she does it all the time and never faces consequences.
Right. She doesn't understand the gravity of what could happen to Christopher. But that also goes to tell you that she doesn't understand why anybody would be upset, even if there was no consequences. Well, you still stole this guy's story and put it in your movie.
Yeah.
And that, like, it's so foreign to her that you're like, why wouldn't I do that? That's when they both drown, and she goes, I'm a scorpion. It's in my nature.
Well, here's the thing. This is why I love The Sopranos. This is why I love the connection between the mafia and their crew and everything, because honor is so important. And the reason why it's important is because they all know the consequence of what happens when you are dishonorable.
Yes.
And the consequence is unmitigated violence.
Yeah.
And when you live in a world where there are no consequences for your action, you act in a dishonorable way easier.
Right. Which is why, and we'll get to it, which is why there is that conversation about even the morality of being in the mafia, because they do live by that code.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they're living by the code.
Every man needs a code.
Yeah, no.
Every man needs a code.
Okay, so what do you think of this, though? Because we're talking about, the beta male, the alpha male, everything. What's more of a beta move than showing up to Amy's office and going, I really liked you. And she's just walking away from you. Christopher has gone from being like the guy in charge of everything to just giving his heart to her and her being like, Christopher, get a hold of yourself.
Wait a minute. You think that it's a beta move to share your heart with someone?
To go to her place of business? And when you can see that she is not interested in you.
And she gives that Hollywood, we'll let you know.
We'll let you know. Ugh. Sorry. Hollywood is, what was it? It was, Hollywood's lost interest in mob stories.
I mean, Hollywood is what Livia says. It's all a big nothing.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And I will say it is an alpha move. It is an alpha move to lead with your heart.
But what about when you're
alpha move to be vulnerable? It takes a real man, and that takes courage.
say after it's already been expressed, it's not like that she's not into it. And then he goes like this, I really liked you. It's like,
do you think he really did? Or do you think he was trying to
he doesn't
play
like
her emotions? Because I think he did like her.
No, I think he was in his feelings there. I don't think he was being manipulative, but I think it was an ego thing. I don't think this is like forlorn love. I mean, he's got a steady girlfriend and she's with his cousin. They're not going to be together. So I think that, but I also don't think it was just like he liked her. It was when they were clicking together.
He saw what could be with his,
It was this short, is that it only lasted a few days, but his relationship with her represents the Christopher that's not in the mob, the Christopher that's in Hollywood.
The life he could have.
Hanging out with Favreau, hanging out, like, because he didn't realize that they thought he was a joke.
I'll say, man, God bless this thing with Amy because it made him get his shit right with Adriana. It made him realize what he really had. It made him realize the future he could have and how dumb he's been.
Well, I think the Adriana thing, he still had to go through a couple of steps with her. What it ended up doing was making him figure out what he wanted to do with Tony.
Yes.
Because that's how the episode ends.
You got 10 minutes.
Go outside. And by the way, it's like, it's not like Christopher is going to be able to just go to Hollywood and they'll leave him alone. He's dead.
Yeah.
If he goes to like, if it's like, you know what, Tone, I thought about it and I do think I want to pursue screenwriting. He'd be like, oh, okay, sounds good.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah, and Paulie would have a bullet for Christopher within 3 hours.
Yes.
3 hours, Christopher would be dead. So, you know, it's an odd choice, but still a choice nonetheless. And I think that even though Christopher would not have survived saying no, it was still this moment where it's like, Christopher, you're telling me again, this is what you want, which means there's no more excuses. Like I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, there's no more missing meetings in Italy.
Right. Is this what you want or is this what you want? He says, this is what I want. Of course, the confirmation party, you know, before we move on in the next episode, the confirmation party where Christopher has to make that choice is important because that's where Puss is.
I mean, we haven't even gotten into Pussy yet.
Well, Puss has to wear a wire to AJ's confirmation.
I mean,
and any so it's interesting
that
here.
scene in the bathroom.
Where
I mean, we're not even getting into that yet. Jesus
He's
Christ,
sobbing.
this was so hard to watch.
Pussy is sopping, because
and he's acting out. He's throwing mirrors.
He's
attacks his wife.
His marriage is falling apart because of the stress. He's treating what's his name, the FBI agent, like garbage. You know what I mean? He's mad at him. Now at this point, he's mad at him. And then he finds out, but real quick before we get there, isn't it funny when AJ becomes like an existentialist? And he's like,
oh, yeah.
Life is absurd and there is no God.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, he becomes Siggy from What About Bob?
Yeah.
He's just this, you know. And then I love how it's just like, be a good Catholic for 15 fucking minutes. It's like, Carmela's so obsessed with being a Catholic and Catholicism. And like, how does she be a mom boy for 18 years and still has this like Christian wonderment about her?
Because she can be a good Catholic for 15 minutes. See, she can turn around and be a good Catholic at times and then ignore the fact, which is where I was getting into when we first started this thing, that Carmela is a hypocrite.
You really going to say about my mom?
Not your Carmela.
Oh,
you're getting confused. Like you're falling into the world.
That's what David Chase is just so good.
He's so good, but she is a hypocrite. Like the fact that she thinks that she's a good Catholic.
Is she a hypocrite, or is that who she has to be to survive?
Carmela doesn't get to go to heaven.
What?
She's an accessory to all this.
No, she's not.
She knows what's going on.
She la 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 la.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
She doesn't know. No.
She pretends she doesn't know. She conveniently doesn't know.
She doesn't know the specifics.
Well, that's just for court.
Yeah. Maybe that's why she's so close to God, because she wants that forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like my great uncle Joey Paciotti used to go to church every morning.
That's a bit much.
Well, word on the street was he had a lot to atone for.
I see. He had a lot to talk about with God.
Yeah.
Lots of time to make up.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
Yeah, he used to be a numbers guy.
But no,
I'm not going to get into it. Hey, I don't want to be an accessory after the fact.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah.
I want to tell you this story about my uncle. I could get in a lot of trouble.
Well, I do have an uncle. Well, they're all dead, so it's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want from me?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
One's looking that way, the other's looking that way. What do you want from me? Ah, shit, you're right. Well, I had an uncle who owed some money to the mob, and they held him over the Delaware Memorial Bridge by his ankles.
No.
And then after that, he was never late on a payment.
I would imagine.
Yep.
I would imagine.
Oh, yeah.
How about Pussy when he's got to talk to AJ because AJ was smoking weed in the garage and he just tells him, your father's a good man.
And
Enjoy
not only
your
that,
childhood.
he's wired up.
Yeah.
So they're listening to him in the van, hearing how human and frog-like Tony is. They're here ribbon.
Maybe we got this guy all wrong, boss.
Yeah.
I think Pussy at this point has to know there is no getting out of this. What are his options here?
I mean, later in the season, we see really the 5 stages of grief with Pussy.
Yeah. Because he has to leave his life behind, like the life that he knew. Best case scenario, he's leaving the life that he knew behind regardless. So it's like, who is he without this?
Well, we see him tricking himself.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I mean, really, that scene in the bathroom where he's struggling with what to do, really wearing a wire. He's like, I'm the kid's godfather, or I'm his confirmation sponsor.
Yeah,
both. And then the scene in the room where he's talking with AJ, and he's having this come to God moment of like, he's not just saying it to AJ, he's saying it to himself about what a good man Tony is, and it makes him go, what am I doing?
Yeah. Yeah, hey, that's not for AJ. He's not talking to AJ. Yeah. He's talking to himself.
Yeah.
And the one thing he's telling AJ is just don't make the mistakes that I made, kid. God. Let's go to episode 8. Let's go to episode 8 before it gets too emotional in here, because Pussy is so close to your heart.
He is.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about Pussy.
Episode 8, he's so clever, is Full Leather Jacket, which is one of the best, scenes of the whole season in my book. So this is what I was talking about a little bit that I didn't want to get into too much when we first started doing this, and I was trying to tell you that Carmela is not perfect, okay?
Uh-huh.
When Carmela goes to Jeannie Cusimano's sister to get that letter of recommendation for Meadow, that is all the time that she has spent with Tony. She knows exactly what she's doing. Are you threatening me? No. No. Yes is the answer. I want you to write that letter. And it's not even so Meadow can go to the school that she wants to. It's so Meadow can go to the school that Carmela wants her to. It's so Meadow doesn't leave and go to Berkeley because she's so worried that her daughter is going to go to California. But come on. I mean, when Carmela, that's some Lori Loughlin shit that Carmela was doing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she'll Felicity Huffman.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Big
yeah.
time.
And let me tell you something. Tony Soprano is no Bill Macy.
No. Now, wait. Is Jeannie Cusimano, the actress that plays her, the same actress that plays her sister? Because they look so much alike.
They do look alike. I don't know.
Incredibly alike.
Yeah. I don't know.
And they're never in double shots together.
Well, I mean, they have the technology if they wanted to put the same actress in double shots together. They've done it for years and years and years.
And David Chase could definitely do it if he wanted to.
If David Chase wanted to get it done,
yeah,
it would be done.
Yeah.
He'd be like Moses, okay, parting the Red Sea. That's what Moses did, right?
He parted the Red Sea.
There, okay, so nailed it.
So that the frog could get.
It's like There's a frog at the bottom of the sea.
A scorpion can't talk underwater. We're going to part the sea. Yeah, well, it's amazing to me how much weight the name Soprano carries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
let me tell you something. It's not just a singer.
No, it ain't.
No.
And it's not just...
Do you know who she is? That's Tony Soprano's wife.
Yeah.
That's like, hold the phone.
It is, I mean, they get away with what they want. And it's amazing to me that so much violence occurs in the public sphere and no one ever gets in trouble for it. They're beating up kids at Wabistics. Chris is stomping out a guy in acting class, and everyone's just, no big deal. No big deal. Paulie's beating up a psychic in his own home.
Well, we'll get there.
Sorry.
We'll get there.
Sorry, like a psychic, I'm seeing into the future.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. No, you're right, but also, like, I think part of it is that nobody wants to be on the receiving end of something. So
also, you know why they keep doing it in public?
Why?
No consequence for their action.
Why is there? You mean because it's well, but they're still living by the code.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no consequence for that specific action. You're
yes,
saying. I see. It's still by the code.
Yes,
it's by the book.
By the book.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I mean, you can't be looking at Carmela would tell you, "Well, I did this for my kid, so it's okay," but it's not okay.
I don't know. I mean, if other people, if Hunter's family is doing it.
Hunter's family's not doing it like that. Hunter's family's not being like...
They're using green. Carmel's using mean.
Good point.
Salute.
That's a good point.
Salute.
Salute. Yeah, salute. Yeah, no, you're right. All right, you're right. Okay, and then we got Sil and Paulie.
Uh-huh.
Let Richie know. He's going to have to build Beansy a ramp.
Oh, yeah.
Beansy's going to need a ramp. And it's interesting here. Because it's almost like Richie has come around. At first, Richie doesn't want to do it.
No, we see for the first time ever Richie's trying.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's why the leather jacket thing was so off-putting to me.
When Richie gave Tony the jacket?
Yes, because I'm thinking, what's his angle? What's he setting up?
Well, I think that he's realizing now that Tony is the motherfucking one.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, you know what? It's not me trying to get this leadership position is not going to work right now. Let me cozy up to this guy. Let me try a different tactic. I think he's thinking that his tactics up until this point have not put him where he wants to go. I think the fact that he's with Janice again, I don't think he's with her because he's in love. I think that Richie...
He's the heir.
Richie wants to... Yeah, I mean...
It is so funny.
Richie's brother used to be the boss, right?
And Richie wants to be the boss.
Right. Jackie Aprile used to be the boss. Richie, or at least if he can't be the boss, he wants to be the brother of the boss and have the boss treat him like a brother. So, if you can marry the boss's sister and cozy up to the boss, well, now you're the boss's brother-in-law.
Right.
And if the boss thinks of you as a brother, you gave him that nice leather jacket, you brought up... And I think the point of the leather jacket, too, was about, like, don't forget, like, how far we go back. Remember we were kids. Remember you've known me for that long. And, and look at you now. This
and what
is
I'm
great.
Capable of. Look who I got it off of.
Right.
How I can help you.
Right.
But
it's indicative of his skill set.
But it is so funny how just... Richie Aprile's sick in the head. He's just an off guy. He is not on the level. Like, just looking at him, he is hard to look at.
Yeah, I mean, he's got it's like he's got this, it's just this constant state of tension.
Yeah.
His eyes are like, I mean, it's evil.
Fucking shark eyes.
Yeah,
and his black hair and his face. He is not all right.
No, he's not. He's psychotic.
And his choices that he makes are also off-putting.
Like what?
Like this leather jacket.
Right.
Who gives a fuck about your leather fucking jacket?
Well, he almost...
It's just a weird gift. And then what's he give Carmela? Tripe. What? That's such an off-putting gift.
Okay, so...
You know what tripe is?
Is it a type of fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what trypophobia is?
It's fear of that type of fish?
It's a fear of that type of texture of holes, of circles in things.
Like Swiss
and that's
cheese?
what the fish is it's full of those like
Holes?
circle holes.
Pores.
Yeah. Yeah, like eat in large pores.
So I think Richie is a straight up sociopath.
Totally.
And so he doesn't know how to be nice. He doesn't know how to relate to people. None of it makes sense to him. And so he is trying to portray what he believes a human being to be.
Yes, he is like Edgar in the human suit in Men in Black.
Yes. He's
Sugar. More.
Yeah. He doesn't understand that it's not a thing for a human being to want sugar water all the time.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the hell happened to Vincent D'Onofrio?
Yes.
You know, he thinks that he's doing a pretty convincing job of
Richie
it.
is trying to hang out in a human suit and it is not fitting his skin well. He's asking for sugar water and everyone's like, Richie, you gotta fucking calm down.
We know, Richie. We know what's going on.
It's interesting. You say Richie is a sociopath.
Yeah.
In order for these guys in the mob to engage in their lifestyle and still have these other lives and do complete unconscionable behaviors and then just go about their business. Like we see Tony so many times murdering, doing horrible things, and then the next scene he's at home with his family. Like you have to have a level of trauma in your life growing up that has shaped and molded you to be that kind of psychopath. And it's so funny how so many Italian, I mean, they hit every stereotype. So many Italians grew up with psychotic parents.
Can you imagine?
Insane. And if you're involved in gang activity, you had to have had such a tumultuously abusive childhood.
Can you imagine growing up with Livia Soprano? And the only person that you had to save you from that crazy mother was a gangster father? I mean, yeah, you're 100% right on. You know? My favorite scene, I mean, maybe in the whole season, is when Richie sees Tony's housekeeper's husband wearing the leather jacket. It is just so funny. He's so insulted that he can't even fake it.
That a Polish guy
is
wearing his jacket.
There's a Polish housekeeper's husband wearing the leather jacket that he took off the toughest guy in the neighborhood, that he gave to Tony as a symbol, as a symbol of their relationship,
and you know what that means?
As a show of respect. And that's the other thing. Richie does not show respect very often.
No.
Richie doesn't. So the fact that he did show some respect was a big deal.
Yeah.
And how does that respect get responded to? Spit in the face. That's how he sees it.
Yeah.
He can't even stay to drink the coffee.
And what does Carmela say about him? She goes, poor guy. He was a doctor back in Poland, or he was like an engineer back in Poland.
Yeah.
And he's
grinding his teeth. Yeah. Richie is furious.
Yeah. This dumb idiot whose wife is a maid. They're getting free TVs.
Yeah.
And he was so pitied upon. Tony gave him this dumb jacket that meant so much to Richie.
And by the way, is that not the ugliest leather jacket you've ever seen in your life?
Yes. Yes. I mean, again, it is the tripe of jackets.
Yeah, and I feel like, and that's one of the things that I love about this show, that like most of these like mafia stories, there's this big theatrical moment that it's like, and that was the moment we knew there was only one thing we could do. But on this show, it's these little mundane things that just get under your skin, that it's like, who would have thought, if Richie hadn't given Tony the jacket, if Tony hadn't taken that jacket and give it to the housekeeper's husband, maybe Richie would have tried to play nice. Maybe they would have gotten along some other way. But because Richie saw Tony's housekeeper's husband wearing that jacket,
set him off.
He'll never forgive Tony.
And it just is another example of how inconsequential Richie is to Tony, but also care. How many times Tony just fucks Richie.
In Richie's perspective.
Yes.
I mean, Tony didn't fuck Richie. He just didn't care about the jacket. But Richie sees it as that.
Right. But I mean, like, we just see how much Richie wants it, like when, he's told that Tony doesn't want AJ hanging out with him or whatever, and he flips out. When he's told don't sell coke on my routes, Richie flips out.
When Tony tells him that he's going to collect Davey's money before Richie sees a penny.
Yes.
Richie freaks out. When Davey's at the game at all, the poker game at all.
Yes.
Even though he owes Richie money.
Yes.
Richie flips out. Richie can't handle being disrespected.
When Tony takes a bid on the garbage routes and doesn't give it to Richie. And he goes, those that give respect, show respect. And he goes, see, kid, he just told you to go. What'd he say? He goes, see, kid, he told you to shut the fuck up. And he told me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, and he did.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that in that book?
There's so... Italian, without words. There's so many things that are said in the show that are completely unsaid.
Yeah.
And I am so amazed by the dialogue and just how quick and perfect it is.
Yeah, and funny.
And funny. And Tony has these lines that he says.
How about this is the episode where what you were talking about a moment ago kind of comes to fruition, where Christopher realizes that he's been doing the wrong thing by Aid. This is where he puts his hands on her. You know what I mean?
This is where something else happens, Christopher.
Aid's had enough. Yeah. No, we'll get there. We're building. We're hitting. I feel like the stories that we just hit. We're hitting those C and B stories, and then we're gonna hit that A, right in the A. So, Christopher, Adriana leaves. She goes, hangs out with her mom. We meet Adriana's mom. Mm-hmm. Not a shock. Feels like, I see that. I completely see that. She doesn't want Christopher back. Christopher proposes. Christopher and Adriana are engaged.
I mean, what a swing for the fence.
Yeah, for Christopher?
You gotta propose. What else are you gonna do?
At that point, shit or get off the pot.
Yeah.
What have you done?
Yeah.
What have you done?
That's like me and a gal broke up, and to get her back, I was like, I'm gonna get her name tattooed on me.
I bet this will work.
Yeah. Thank God I didn't.
Yeah, Carm would have been upset about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally.
You would have had to cross it out and write Carm under it.
Totally.
Yeah. You could get a Carmela tattoo, and that way, since it's not your lady's real name, God forbid, not that it ever would, but if you ever needed to explain it to another lady, you could be like, no, it's Carmela Soprano.
Well, I don't think that'll happen because there ain't never going to be another lady.
I love that.
There ain't never going to be no Gumar.
That's the right answer. Well, let me tell you something. We see a lot from Sean and Matt Bevilacqua and Sean, whatever his name is, in this episode. We see...
exactly. He doesn't deserve to be recognized. Anyway, continue.
We see... You're pissed.
Yeah, I'm pissed. Just how out of touch these guys are. And they love the mob so much, yet at every turn they fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in the bathroom with Tony. What are you thinking? What fucking boobs?
How about on the construction site? Tony! I'm not supposed to be here.
What was that?
It was like earlier in this season when they do the when they have the protests going on the construction site. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You ever hear of a fucking wiretap?
Yeah, in the bathroom. Yeah.
And it's so funny how Bevilacqua tries to get... He fails with Tony initially, and then he tries to get in by being like, I like to fuck her in the ass. And Tony's like, all right. Cool.
Because we've all had that interaction.
Yeah.
Like, we're not all Tony. We're not... But that thing where it's like, cool, man.
Yeah. But also, that's such a stereotypical, like, immature guy thing to, like, bond over, like...
Yeah.
Fucking a girl or something.
And it's like, would you? And you're like, nah, I just said it to be cool.
I
would.
A guy I know. Got it on. Yeah. No, he didn't.
But we see Sean shitting while they're cracking safes.
Yes, that was weird.
You know, well, he has to,
I didn't know that.
He has to evacuate. Yeah, it's weird to
Pussy
see.
Bombazero used to get the runs.
It's weird to see such a handsome guy defecating.
Yeah.
He's a really handsome dude.
And not pay for it.
Right.
This is crazy.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be DNA or something. Yeah, this is the same episode where the Bada Bing bathroom incident happens.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, maybe I'm about to say my favorite scene again, but when Furio comes over to their place and they're both in their underwear.
Oh my God.
Oh, and talk about alpha male and beta male.
Incredible.
Oh, and then Furio goes, give me $1,000.
Yeah. These two fuck each other. I mean, incredible. And Furio's such an Italian alpha that he can't even imagine that they're just roommates.
No, because they're also sitting there in their tidy whities.
Yeah. They got their little undies hanging up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So they have to give Furio $1,000, and they go, we got to go quicker here. We got to make a move.
I mean, what foils to Syl and Paulie?
Oh, just the best. But who knows? I mean, who knows what Syl and Paulie were like? I mean, if you've seen Many Saints of Newark, you got a little bit of an idea. But
I haven't seen it.
But who knows what Syl and Paulie were like as kids? You know what I mean? It's like they're wise now because they've seen this life. But who knows? You know, Matt and Sean, they feel like they have to climb up the chain quicker.
Yeah, but you just said it right there. Matt and Sean.
Ugh.
Are those fucking mafia names?
You mean like Syl and Paulie?
No, not.
Matt and Sean?
Yeah.
No.
Are we in the mafia or are we fucking choosing kickball teams?
No, that's a great point.
What is this?
And either way, I'm picking those two last.
Yeah.
No matter what the game is.
Yeah.
Whether it's this thing of ours
Yeah.
or the kickball game.
Yeah, that thing of theirs.
That thing of theirs.
They're getting picked last. Mm-hmm.
Especially after what we saw. So they go talk to Richie. Richie's over there going like, yeah, that guy sucks. And they're like, eh. And
what a bunch of try-hard losers.
Total losers. Talk about going to extremes.
Spineless, no honor, no code.
No honor. But there is no honor among thieves.
True. And they are the mafia equivalent of Amy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That bad.
Yeah, climbers.
But not as effective as Amy. Amy's a good climber. She climbs.
Well, because she climbs on top.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Matt and Sean, these two fuck each other.
Yeah.
They're a couple of idiots.
Yeah.
So they hear Richie say just the most mundane, whatever things.
He never gets his cigarette wet because he got a big nose.
Right. You know, good one, Rich.
Where'd you come up with this? I just fucking said it.
So what do in their infinite wisdom? They decide, well, let's go kill Christopher for Richie.
Because they're so dumb. He goes, you never do anything for me. Let me know.
Oh, I know what we can do. We can kill Christopher, the guy who's put his neck on the line for us this entire time. He gave us webistics, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So they go and they decide they're going to kill Christopher. They shoot him. In the meantime, they forgot Christopher is that dude. So he starts firing back. Sean ends up getting killed.
Popped.
Christopher is shot on the ground in bad shape.
Bellavacqua's on the run.
Bellavacqua is on the run, and he's running from some people you don't want to be running from.
No.
How upset were you when this all went down?
I mean, look, man, I don't know where the show goes. I'm flying by the seat of my pants.
Right.
I do not. The only thing...
You don't know. This could be the episode where Christopher gets it.
That's what I'm saying. The only thing I know for sure is in the last episode, Tony dies. I don't know if he dies, but the screen goes black. Don't Stop Believing plays. It's the only thing I fucking know.
Right.
But I know in between that ending and now, anything can happen.
And does.
And would you let me get this attached to characters and kill them off? And if you do, this early in a series, they can go on for how many more seasons? And at the same time, everyone's telling me, strap in, it only gets better. How the fuck can a show get better when it's already so motherfucking fucking good?
Let me ask you this. Season 1, Mikey Palmieri. You probably thought he'd be around for a while, didn't you? He was a very, very important character on the show, wasn't he?
Who? Fucking Junior's second in command?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a fucking lapdog.
Well, now...
Boom, you're getting popped.
He's a memory.
Yeah.
They will take these characters out.
Yeah, but you're not as attached. We don't see Palmieri's fucking relationship with his wife. We don't see these side stories with him. We're seeing that with Christopher.
We did see him with his wife. Remember? Think of mine all.
Yeah, one fucking scene. And then he said he loved me. I mean, that's the thing. We're getting so attached to these characters.
Yeah.
And to kill them off, that's the thing. I don't know where this goes. But I'm thinking, goodbye, Chris. He's gone. They're really going to he's done.
Yeah, well.
This is crazy.
We go to episode 9, and we find out that Christopher's not dead. You must have been very relieved when we find out that Christopher is not dead the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty relieved.
Yes. Very relieved.
But Christopher's not all that relieved because he wakes up.
And he thinks he's in hell.
He thinks he was in hell.
Thinks he was in hell. And then we find out that Tony fucking lied to Carmela and gave her a little song and dance because Carmela goes to Chris and she goes, what was it like meeting Jesus? And he goes, Carmela, I was in hell.
And it's like, Christopher.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
I know.
You want to go back?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think?
Tony's giving Carm a fucking, ball of lies.
By the way, that's the idea that Carm thinks that her and Christopher is going to go to heaven. What the hell would Christopher be doing in heaven?
Right. But again, it's that innocence of Carmela.
Innocence.
I don't think she's a hypocrite. I think she
tried to threaten Jeannie Cusimano's sister.
That doesn't make her a hypocrite.
Doesn't exactly
it
make
her human.
Doesn't make her a good
because
Catholic.
Humans sin.
Did she confess?
We don't know her life fully.
She tried to fuck the priest one time.
Did she try to fuck the priest?
I think so.
Fuck him with food.
Whatever they're going to use.
Where the man's heart is stomach.
That's what I'm saying. She knew what she was doing. Oh, you sleep it over, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, it was such a good moment. So, Paulie gets freaked out by this.
This episode is incredible with Paulie.
But that's what we've talked about this Paulie before. Like, Paulie is kind of a more ridiculous character, but he's so much fun. When you start to peel those layers back, you realize that he's just a ridiculous person. And
he's so ridiculous that his Gumar has kids.
Yeah,
that's how ridiculous he is.
And he's taking care of them.
And he's taking care of them. His Gumar is not some fucking Russian stripper.
No.
She's a, fucking Spanish gal with kids.
Yes.
That he's an uncle to, that he takes care of. That's how great Paulie is.
I love when Paulie goes, let me ask you, Christopher, was it hot? No, it wasn't hot. It wasn't hot. No, it wasn't hot. That was purgatory, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And he's not even talking to Christopher anymore. He's just trying to make himself feel better.
That comes up later when he goes, what'd you tell him? I'm not in that. What else? On the
boat. Yeah. And Tony, we get the interesting, this is where we find out from Tony that Tony doesn't think, or at least says that he doesn't think that those guys are going to hell. This is where Tony compares them to soldiers. He's talking to Melfi about it.
Yeah.
And Tony, I think it feels like you were saying that he thinks that because the code is there, that they're not going to hell. But I mean, I can't possibly see a scenario where there's a heaven. If I go to heaven, right, and I'm walking around, because I was a good person, so I get to go to heaven. Yeah. And Tony Soprano is there. I'm like, what, did they let anybody in here?
No. What do you like? Oh, yeah. I guess this is fucking heaven. Because my heaven is hanging out with Tony Soprano.
Just a bunch of us frogs all hanging out.
Yeah. Ribbit. One cloud to another.
I don't.
Looking down at the scorpions.
I don't see if anybody goes to hell, it has to be all of them. All they do is steal and kill. Constantly. They ruin lives. Ruin them. Ruin people's lives. Innocent bystanders. It's not like...
I'd rather laugh with the sinners than cry with the saints.
Well, you can go to hell with them. I'm not mad at you for it. But what I'm saying is, if there is a place for sinners and a place for saints, how the hell are the Multa Santis actually Santis?
Okay, think about how bulletproof you got to be to go to heaven. You really want to hang out with them losers?
Well, what if the key? Well, that's what I'm saying. That's fine. That's not the argument, though. I'm not asking do you want to go to heaven. I'm saying if there is a heaven, does Tony and his crew go to heaven? Absolutely not.
We're just a couple of AJs right now.
There's no God. Life is absurd.
Yeah. So you're saying that these Multisantis aren't so Santi?
They're not Santis at all. No, of course not. They're the most sinners. You know what some of the worst sins are? Murder.
Yeah.
Theft. I mean, there's worse things than theft, but theft is still not good.
Mm-hmm. But that's what makes this show so good is that these guys are clearly on paper sociopathic murderers, and you're like, I want them to win.
Yes, that I will give you.
I'll excuse murder. They're likable.
Yeah,
this show has made me question my moral compass.
Like, would you, if somebody said, Ian, I'm going to need you to put a hit out on this guy.
I mean,
for the family.
I am a very loyal friend.
Yeah, you are.
And I'll stick my fucking neck out for you.
What if it means breaking somebody else's?
I'll break someone else's neck.
I appreciate that. All right, cool. Maybe you will go to heaven. I don't know.
But I'm finding myself excusing evil behavior in favor of likability. And Paulie, it's interesting because he goes to the priest and he's basically engaging in indulgences.
Yeah.
Old indulgences in the 1500s. People thought if they donated to the church, they would get to heaven.
Yeah.
And he's going, when all the boys needed new whites, who was there? You know, you're not getting another fucking penny from me.
Yeah. He's trying to buy his way into heaven, which is not how it works.
But it is charming.
It's very charming, and I love Paulie. I'd prefer, my preference would be all these guys just stay alive forever.
Oh, yeah.
And we can just enjoy
Italian
them.
vampires.
But this is when, yeah. But this is, of course, the episode that you were talking about when Paulie has the seance.
I mean, that's incredible.
Doesn't like it.
That's incredible.
So he starts breaking furniture.
He is, I mean, first of all, the psychic guy is great.
Great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Love this guy.
Yeah.
Made me want to call him. Talk to a couple people I haven't talked to in a while.
Yeah.
But he's literally talking to people who've been murdered by Paulie.
Don't talk to him.
Yeah. And the person next to him, he's like, Keith, he says he loves you. And then he's talking to the guys Paulie knows, and he's going, you know, I got poison ivy. I'm glad you're itching. You know? And then he throws a chair, and Paulie's response to people that are talking to their dead relatives and this guy who is bridging the gap between life and death, his response is to go, fucking queers. That's how ridiculous Paulie is. He equates fucking being gay with talking and believing in the afterlife.
Yeah.
I fucking love it.
Yeah. It's just so, I mean, he just got yanked out of the 1950s. He
Yes.
just figured out what was cool and who he was.
Yes.
And just maintained.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing. And again, I'm excusing that behavior for likability.
Right. No, I mean, I don't want him to change if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
I don't want him to change a thing. I think he's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Just the way he is. Of course, Pussy is still mad at Skip. He's still loyal to Tony. And that loyalty really comes forward because we find Matt Bevilacqua.
For $20. Which is amazing to me.
Yeah.
That guy is so hard up for cash. He's going to give up a guy to die for $20? What?
Yeah. He gives him up. We find Matt Bevilacqua. And oh my God, talk about a hit. When he goes, "You're thirsty?" And he gives him a nice soda.
We're not going to hurt you.
Yeah, we're not going to hurt you.
I'm going to kill you. I would have done it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Frog? That's a frog talking.
Look, man.
That's as manipulative as I've ever seen anybody be.
Have you ever seen a frog that's got different colors?
Guess, yeah, that's what makes frogs interesting, right?
Frogs got different colors.
Yeah, okay.
And we're just seeing a different color of this frog.
Most frogs are green.
But in order to survive, some of them have to change colors.
You're thinking of iguanas.
You're right. Salute.
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 Because it's the last drink you're ever going to have.
Yeah.
And then when Tony looks...
that's a killer line.
Yeah, of course. What's Tony's line?
I mean, Tony sets him up and knocks him down.
Oh, is he... And by the way, Tony knows he shouldn't be doing this. Tony knows he shouldn't be the one murdering.
Oh, when they get the gun, he goes, what's Pussy say? He says something. He goes, I want to.
Yeah. Because it was Christopher.
Yes, and he cuts Furio out, too.
Yep. Even though he could have just easily sent Furio to do the dirty work.
Mm-hmm.
He goes himself, which is ultimately potentially a very big mistake.
Yes, but also it harkens back to when he sends Furio to the massage parlor, and he tells Melfi, she goes, what were you doing? He goes, wishing I was in there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And now he is there. And then he glances at Pussy. Pussy doesn't fire at first.
That's the thing. Pussy shoots after he's already dead.
Yeah, because he knows.
And that's so sad. He calls out for his mom.
Mommy! Look, dude.
And that rat, blaming it on Sean, he's the one that put it in Sean's ear.
Yeah. Enjoy your Coca-Cola.
Yeah. But I will say, he could have put it off on Richie, too.
He could have.
It was Richie's idea.
He could have. Yeah.
But
he still didn't take responsibility.
No, he should have known he was dead already.
He's an idiot, though.
Yeah.
Matt Bevilacqua is as stupid as they come. And dead as they come.
That's the last drink you're ever going to have.
What was that fish with the holes in it?
Tripe.
Wrong. Bevilacqua.
Wow.
How do you like that?
Wow.
Salute. Well,
we are having Panseer Bevilacqua tonight.
Oh, and then, of course, the the little storyline at the end with Tony and Carmela. What do you think? Carmela wants Tony to get a vasectomy.
But
by the way, speaking of great lines, Tony doesn't even know he's got these great lines sometimes where he goes, I want you to know, I've had every single one of them checked for AIDS.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what she's worried about.
Yeah.
Well,
and then at the end, she says you don't have to get a vasectomy. Maybe she wants another kid. You think another Soprano baby coming?
I don't know. Is there? Do they introduce another character?
I don't know. Stranger things have happened.
Is there? Do they have a baby?
I don't know. I'm saying Carmela said she was open to the idea.
What kind of a wrench would that throw into the spoke if they have another child?
Hopefully it'd be
Meadows moving out. AJ's getting older. Is this like, they introduced that dog character in The Simpsons?
And Poochie?
Yeah.
And AJ kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Tony needs an heir. He's not 100% sure about Christopher.
Wow.
Who knows? Do you think that that's why Carmela said that? Because she really wants another baby?
But at her age...
It'd be tough.
Complications with the child would be a lot.
Be tough.
Could open the door to a caring Tony.
It could. Doubt it. But it could. Why else? Well, why do you think Carmela decided to the change of heart? You want me to tell you why I think?
Yeah.
She's
an angel.
Because I don't think in that moment Carmela necessarily wanted another kid because she knows what you know. She knows she's a woman of a certain age at this point. Not to say that it's impossible, but it wouldn't be as easy as the first two. I think that if Tony gets a vasectomy, then Carmela is finally putting something on paper that is in a way saying, I am understanding of your infidelity. I'm accepting and understanding of your infidelity. That's what she says, I've only ever wanted you.
I love that.
Because if Tony doesn't get a vasectomy, maybe Tony won't need a vasectomy. You see what I'm saying? If Tony does get a vasectomy, he needed to get a vasectomy because he's going to cheat. But if Tony doesn't get a vasectomy, maybe he didn't need to get a vasectomy because he's not going to cheat. That's where I think her romantic little head was at.
Well, this is the first time we really see them become intimate.
Oh, yeah, and we see it full penetration.
I mean, that, again, we see Carmela's nurturing side, her loving side, maternal side. That's why I love her.
Do you have that in your Carm? Does your Carm have a maternal side?
Yeah.
That's nice.
A Karen side?
A Karen side?
Caring.
Oh, okay.
Caring.
I was going to say, you don't
No
want...
salute. No salute.
Sorry.
No salute.
Sorry.
Caring side.
I didn't mean anything
side,
by it.
Nurturing side. Yes.
All right.
Understanding side. Calm through and through with a hint of calm in the streets, Adriana in the sheets.
That's what I like to hear, Ian.
And I just want to say real quick.
Say it.
That dinner with Pussy, Tony's going, wow. We're back.
We're back.
Rich man, poor man joke.
Yeah.
Steaks. You took me here the first time I popped my cherry.
You and me, buddy.
It's all coming back.
Yeah.
Pussy's back. I'm thinking Pussy's back on Team Tony.
Because I think that Tony, from the minute Pussy came back from Puerto Rico,
suspect.
I think that Tony always had some kind of suspect thing going.
But he sees him shoot.
He sees him shoot. And when he saw him shoot, he said, me and you, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you, just like it's always been. The
Yeah.
boys are back in town.
Boys are back in
Spread the word
town.
around. Yes. Well, I can't wait to see where this thing goes. That was episode 9. Next week, here on the YouTube channel, we're going to be going through episodes 10, 11, and 12 of season 2. So make sure you're watching along. I am getting messages from people that are watching along at the same time with us. I know that Hot Dog had to make sure that he was caught up because we put out like the clip. It boggles my mind that anybody hasn't watched this show. We put out the clip a couple weeks ago of finding out that Pussy was a rat.
Mm-hmm.
And Hot Dog sent me a DM going like, oh no, you spoiled it. And I was like, dude, it's the beginning of season 2.
Yeah. People are messaging me saying they're catching up.
That's
Where
awesome.
can they find it? They want to watch.
So yeah,
they want to start watching.
It's great. HBO Max, next week, episode 10, 11, and 12 of season 2 of The Sopranos. So catch up. Ian, where can they find you on social?
iAnimal69 on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. I got a bunch of dates coming up.
Excellent.
I'm going to be in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Royersford, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C. with the Pie Tasters.
Ooh, love the Pie Tasters. Do you have a website? Because that way, whenever they're watching, they can see your dates.
IanFidance.com.
And of course, I'm Not Sam across all forms of social. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit like on the video. Leave a comment. Let us know if we hit the nail on the head or we missed it. Let us know if you are you an Adriana in the sheets? Are you a Carmela in the streets? Are you our wife? Are you our Gumar?
And also, we want to thank you and just say no spoilers.
No spoilers. You guys have been doing such a great job. That's the whole fun of it.
Very, very much appreciate that.
No spoilers.
Genuinely, sincerely.
We thank you, all of our commendatores.
And all of our capos.
That's right.
And most of all, our paisanos.
Our paisanos. We'll see you next week on Sopranos Prima Volta.